Well, hey there, and welcome to On Location SD. I am your host, Joe Stevens, and we are here at Pinstripe Studios giving you a all-inclusive episode about just one great performer. And that great performer just happens to be a good friend of mine as well, by the name of Ron Franklin.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate being here.
Well, you're not only have you got a great history with music, but you're also doing a lot currently that I'm really just I love, and I like not only featuring your music, but as a person, you're a great guy. So, the one thing that what we got to do is show you the very first clip of Ron Franklin. I have him playing live at Brick by Brick at one of our On Location SD acoustic showcases. So here is his original song at Brick by Brick.
Loco por tacos. Every bite was a grande delight, and I knew this love was true. I'm loco for tacos, don't you know? If there's gonna be tacos, I'm gonna go. No one more burritos, no, no, no. I'm loco for tacos, see your taco loco. Many how they sliced it to me, but I believe that cheese is the thing that most pleases me. You see, I'm loco for tacos, don't you know? If there's gonna be tacos, I'm gonna go. Don't want no burritos, no, no, no. I'm loco for tacos, Señor Taco Loco, Señor Taco Loco. Refreshing drink, you can make yourself as quick as a week. Try my agua fresca and you'll say that's muy bueno. I'm looking for tacos, don't you know? If there's gonna be tacos, I'm gonna go. Don't want no burritos, no. Loco for tacos, Señor Taco Loco, Señor Taco Loco, Señor Taco Loco. Really like your taco? Yeah! I'm here on the midway where the light shines so bright. Set 'em up and knock 'em down. It's a glorious sight. The joy of the game is just to let it all go. Can't hold on to anything, that's what we all know. When the show is over, we'll pack it all and move on to the next town and do it all again. Hear me? The other night I laid me down for to take my rest. Behind my head and a hole in my chest. Somewhere out in the distance distance, our train whistle blow. Her heart, her mind, and everything I know. The joy of the game is just to let it all go. Can't hold on to anything, that's the truth we all know. When the show is over, we'll pack it all in. Yes, it will. We'll move along to the next town and do it all again. Hear me now. Again, again. It's written in the stars, yeah, it's coded in our genes. It's not enough to play the game, we got to know what it means. Love alone is the answer that carries through. On the street, I'm everywhere with a cosmic view. Joy of the game, just to let it all go. Can't hold on to anything, that's the truth we all know. When the show is over, we'll pack it all in. Yes, we will, and we'll move along to the next town and do it all again. Hear me now. Again and again, over and over. That's the joy of the game.
Well, hey there, and welcome back to On Location SD. I'm your host, Joe Stevens, and I'm sitting here with Mr. Ron Franklin at Pinstripe Studios. And this is a little part of the program where we get to know our artists, and I want to know a little bit more about this rich history that you have. I know a lot of things, but I want the audience to hear them from you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, I've been at it for a while. I started playing guitar when I was a kid back in the 60s, and started out sort of as a folky, player. My first teacher, fortunately, was a very educated musician, and I started from day one learning to read music, learning the song melodies, learning the chord progressions, learning the notes on the guitar, which helped serve me years later when I went to college, because I ended up studying classical guitar in college. But I played all through high school, and in fact, I actually made an album when I was in high school. In 1969, my senior year, I graduated in 1970 from high school. I, along with a friend of mine, made this album called Autumn to May, Franklin and Hayes. And half the songs on here, that's me when I was 17 years old, half the songs on here were written when I was a teenager, including the first song I ever wrote when I was 14, which is on here, which is the title song, Autumn to May. This has actually become, we only made like 1,000 copies of it, and we sold it locally at the school. So somehow it got into the annals of the Acid Archives, which is actually a compendium of all these independent rock releases and folk releases from the 60s and 70s. It's in there. And so it's become somewhat of a collector's item if you can find one. If you go look it up on eBay, you'll find that they have sold over the last year for over $500. But wow. Unfortunately, I only have I have this one cover, I think, and I have a few of these CDs, the albums. These are vinyl 33 1/3 RPM albums. I ended up doing that kind of around the high school time, and then after I got out of high school, I stayed. This was in the Cleveland area, where I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
So you got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there, and in the early '70s, I had a country rock band. This is big time for the Eagles and Pure Prairie League and all that sort of stuff. And we actually ended up making it into a book on the history of rock and roll in Cleveland. And my band called Buckeye Biscuit actually has a photo in here and a little blurb about the band. So I played around for about the decade of the 70s in Cleveland before I went on to college, and I decided, well, okay, I could gig like this for the rest of my life, but maybe I should go actually learn something a little bit more. And I ended up getting both a Bachelor of Music and a Master of Music degree in classical guitar. So,
oh wow,
yeah,
oh okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You can actually almost hear the history in Ron Franklin by listening to his music. And I'm going to take you to yet another great venue called the 710 Beach Club, where he also played an On Location SD concert series show. And I'm going to show you a clip of him playing at 710 Beach Club.
remedy that my soul won't free. You can say, why does he suffer so needlessly? Offer his heart to adversity while just trying to reach a sweet velocity. Point of view, but it was all he knew. And he said, why do I need the earth anymore? To live in the air is what I came here for. And he said, I'm full of the treetops, that way they never stop. And he said, why does he suffer so needlessly? Offer his heart to adversity. He's just trying to reach a sweet velocity. Are the scenes of distant days that you get to pay? Why are we tethered to these dreams? Why is it like what it really seems to be? How do we know where do we want to go? And I can say, why do you suffer so needlessly? Offer your heart to adversity. You're just trying to reach a safe velocity.
Well, hey there, we're back here at Pinstripe Studios, and we're here with Ron Franklin, and he just did a really great song. Tell me a little bit more about Escape Velocity. You told me the story, you tell the audience the story before you enter in every song, but...
Well, yeah, I try to tell a little bit about it. This was an interesting song that came to me. I was actually on a road trip, and it comes from this understanding that for a lot of people, they'd rather be any place but where they are. You know, people are always saying, oh, but only, you know, if I could only do this, or if I could only get there, then everything would be fine. That itself is a disease. That itself is something that needs to be looked at. So the song was kind of about that. It's like, what are you trying to get away from? What are you trying to escape from? Why are you trying to achieve escape velocity? And the song developed over a period of several days. I remember actually writing it down on the margins of the LA Times in my hotel room in Santa Monica or something. But yeah, that's one of those songs, and I just really loved the chord progression too. When I started working with it, and the whole thing just sort of unfolded over a few days. And it's been one of my favorite songs. I've got a nice recording of it on my CD called Tumbleweed Tales, where I actually fill it out with some other guitars and some harmonies and so forth, and that's kind of fun.
Okay, great. Well, one thing that I guess you're wondering is what else is going on around Franklin. As you can see behind me here, he's been quite busy. He's not just a musician, but he's very active in a lot of great things. Number one, he's a music director of the Good Food Factory that airs on Cox Network. We also got a really great Emmy recently for that show. And he's still playing a lot of really great little shows all around and pulling musicians together. But I said a lot of that, but I want you to fill in some of these blanks.
Well, yeah, let me tell you a little bit about the TV thing, because the way that happened was really fun. We met Amanda Curry, who's the lady here, and she had come up with the idea for this show of teaching kids how to cook and then having them measure and pour and cut and everything, so kids can see that, hey, kids can do this, you know, and make good food. She had created a few episodes in New York. When she came here, she was able to get Cox to air those few episodes, and they said, wow, that's great, can you give us more? Well, after we'd known Amanda for a few years, we kind of got together. We have a video production company called Soapbox Multimedia, and she said, you know, I wonder if we'd be able to come in on it. And so we did, and we made 15 episodes, which are now airing on Cox Cable. They air a show every day. They air the same show all week long, and the next week they'll change out to a new show. And we had a show that was being broadcast on local television. So we joined the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and said, hey, we've got a show. What do you think? And they said, we like it.
I like that. Oh, that was smooth. We like it.
So we got to go to Las Vegas, where the Pacific Southwest Regional Emmy Awards were back this June, just a few months ago. And it was very exciting. We were there with all these folks. And when they called the Emmy Awards for children's programming, we won one. And so these 4 folks back here you see behind me, it's my wife, Fletchy Angel, and Amanda Macia, who's the creator of the show, and Chris Tittle, who's our friend and director of the show. And so all of us received Emmy Awards for producing that show. And I write songs for the show. So I write a song every week that for each of the episodes that's about whatever we're going to be doing on that show. So about the recipe, or for example, one time we had a group called Kids for Peace on. So I wrote a song that's sort of a peace anthem, doesn't talk about the food at all. So it depended on what it was. The episode we actually won the Emmy Award for, I wrote a piece of surf music, and we had a great surf montage. So it's a lot of different things.
So you're eating food that's grown right here in your own town. Local food is fresh and it really is delicious. It's a part of this healthy breakfast dish. Local in season and organic. It's fast thing for everything botanic. And good food factory. It's what we like to see. Come on, make a healthy breakfast with me. Everything has a time and a season. Cycles of the weather is one of the reasons. I love it when it's ripe. This isn't just some hype. Those seasonal veggies are just my type. Local in season and organic. It's a fast thing for everything botanic. And good food factory. It's what we like to see. Come on, make a healthy breakfast with me. Organic is the best that nature can provide. It's grown without chemicals or insecticide. Natural is so yummy, feels good in my tummy. I'm sticking with organic because I am not a dummy. Local in season and organic. It's fast thing for everything botanic. And good food factory. It's what we like to see. Come on, make a healthy breakfast with me.
did about 15 songs for the first season, so that's been really a fun project to do.
I know, and some of those songs are absolutely just that they stick in your head because you're actually singing to kids. You want them to remember them, so you make these hooks that end up. They're still in my head as I'm going down the road. I'm like, "Loco for tacos," it's awesome. Well, anyway, we're gonna show you a great clip of Mr. Ron Franklin playing right here at Pinstripe Studios. They do an open mic, virtual open mic sort of thing here that I think is a very pioneer of a technology, and I'm really excited to be involved in that. And I'm going to show you a clip of him playing right here during one of those showcases.
Yeah, let me just set this up briefly. This is with my friend Phil Cullen, who is a percussionist, and Phil and I are now playing together. In fact, we're putting together a group that will have a number of other different kinds of nice things going on, including big harmonies and so forth. But this is just Phil and I performing right here on this stage for the inaugural open mic at Pinstripe Studios, and we hope to have many more as well. Thanks to our friend Richard Fox for the use of the facility and for the great infrastructure he has here, and we're hoping to take it a lot of places.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure it will. So let's go to that clip of him playing right here.
Thank you.
It's called Dinner is for Winners. Dinner is for winners. It gives you what you need to make it through the night. At the end of a long, long day, you know, dinner will make you feel all right. I've been playing hard, you see. Now it's time to go inside to the Good Food Factory. We'll make a veggie rice stir fry. Let's set the table, light some candles, sit down with our friends and dine. Lord, it's been a while since lunch. We're glad to know it's supper time. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's play a little supper. Dinner is for winners. Well, it gives you what you need to make it through the night. And at the end of a long, long day, you know, dinner will make you feel all right. Oh, yes, it will. At the end of a long, long day, you know, dinner is out of sight. Thank you. I don't know about you, but that song makes me hungry.
Hey there, and thanks again for watching another great episode of On Location SD. And thank you, Ron Franklin, for being here.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it very much.
But the one thing is, I know there's a lot more going on with you that we haven't touched on. So
yeah, there's a few things here and there. Well, I have a lot of different musical interests. I like a lot of different styles. I've created several CDs. You can find them online on iTunes. Ron Franklin. My music website, ronfranklinmusic.com. And I have an album called Opening Doors, which is all just classical guitar music. I did study classical guitar at the university, and I enjoy it very much, so I have a straight album of classical guitar music. I have an album called Tumbleweed Tales, which is all original songs that I've written. And then I've got an album in the works, which is songs from the Good Food Factory. So we keep an eye out for that. You can actually hear a lot of those songs. I've done studio versions of them. They're up on my website. Go to ronfranklinmusic.com, and you can hear that. I've got another fun project I do. This is an album of music that I've created with a couple friends of mine. We call the group Rainbow Sledgehammer.
Yes, I love that name.
Think Iron Butterfly, I guess. I don't know. But Rainbow Sledgehammer. And we do an interesting combination of instruments. It's a didgeridoo, crystal bowls, various types of percussion wood flutes, and I play guitar synthesizers and various types of guitars. And it's an interesting music because it's all improvised on the spot, but it ends up getting very interesting texturally and other ways. It's quite a journey. So it's Rainbow Sledgehammer, and we're actually on the web as well, rainbowsledgehammer.com. You can check that out. And our production company, we do a lot of different projects. For example, this is a DVD that we did called Whale Yoga for Kids, and I wrote all the music for it. So we do a lot of those kinds of projects as well. So if anybody's got a video project they need or need something they had done that they need music for, we're here. That's what we do.
Awesome. And it's kind of like a reflection of some of the stuff that I've been up to out there with the community, throwing the camera around.
Right.
But you actually have really great production quality stuff that you offer reasonable prices, and well, that's just awesome.
Thank you, man.
But the one thing is that I'm just going to have to guilt trip you on this one. I want to actually just have you let the audience just sail away with us with you playing a little bit on this guitar, since it's sitting here anyway.
Thank you, Joe. Happy to. This is a little Brazilian piece called Sounds of Bells.